All right. Do you have a cell phone? What about a car? According to the Pew Research Center's Internet and American Life Project, about 97% of adults under the age of 44 own a cell phone, and about 90% of all Americans own a cell phone in the United States. I admit to having used a cell phone while driving before. There's a time and a place for everything, and using the cell phone is not the right time or place while driving. This is an issue that affects almost everybody in America, and today I'm going to tell you how you can help. I'm talking about distracted driving. I will tell you about the commonality of the situation, the dangers of it, and how you can help prevent it from happening in the future. According to EdgarSnyder.com, on any given day, over 500,000 drivers are attempting to use their phones while behind the wheel of an automobile. This is a ridiculous number because the use of handheld cell phones, but not hands-free cell phones, is illegal in 11 states. In 28 states, including Kansas, there's a ban on texting, but no ban on using a handheld device. In the other 11 states, there's no ban on the device at all. In America, driving started becoming common during the 1920s. A main driving factor in the growing popularity of the automobile was due to the booming economy in the 1920s. Calvin Coolidge, the president at the time, instituted a thing we call the installment plan, which allowed Americans to buy on credit. The motto was to buy now and pay later. Many people abused this privilege, and this was a big contributor to the Great Depression of the 1930s, which I will not talk about at this time. Due to all the buying, many cars were bought during this time period, which put many new drivers on the road. From the beginning, there have always been distractions to drivers in automobiles, but throughout the years, the distractions in the cars and the pressure to drive with those distractions has increased to the point where most people drive when they are distracted. Now that you know how often distracted driving occurs, I will explain the dangers of distracted driving. The people who drive distractedly know they are doing it, and most know that it is against the law, but they do it anyway. We can see into a person's personality and what they think about other people's safety by whether they drive distractedly or not. When texting, drivers take their eyes off the road for an average of 4 to 6 seconds. About 5 of those seconds could be used to avoid a fatal crash or injury. Each day in the United States, more than 9 people are killed and more than 1,153 people are injured in crashes that report a distracted driver. 1 out of every 4 car accidents in the United States is caused by texting and driving. These are all according to EdgarSnyder.com. Now that you know many of the dangers that come along with distracted driving, these are a few simple ways you can help yourself, your community, and your country curb distracted driving and make the roads a safer place to be. According to the National Safety Council, studies that they have conducted show that using a hands-free device is no safer than using a handheld one. The issue is not to stop using handheld devices while driving. It is to stop using cell phones altogether, except for emergency calls, of course. As the head of a company, you could ban the use of cell phones for all your employees while driving, and Shell was one of the first to do this in 2002. And in 2005, they extended the ban to no texting and hands-free devices, and they reported fewer crashes. As a community leader, you could ban the use of cell phones inside like city limits when people are driving and ticket people who break this rule. Manhattan, Kansas is an example of this type of community. The city has no cell phone while driving ordinance that is followed as a general rule. A couple weeks ago, my buddy got pulled over and ticketed for using his cell phone while driving in Manhattan city limits. The fine was $150. This taught him and showed him an example to anyone he shared his story with to not use their cell phones while driving. As an individual, you can have the common sense to lay down your cell phone while driving and set other distractions aside to focus on not hurting yourself or other people. As you now know, distracted driving is a real problem that affects lots of people in the United States and causes many deaths each year. I hope you will take some of this advice and run with it on how you can make the roads a safer place to be. In the novel The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, a character, Jordan Baker, says it takes two to make an accident. This statement is entirely wrong. It takes only one person being careless to create an accident. You do not want to be the person that causes the accident. So I encourage you to strive to drive without distractions.